Well, hey everybody, it's Josh, owner, founder, and lead designer of Big Boom Games, officially now LLC. On Friday, I actually got the word from the state, the actual approval of my articles of organization, and so yes, Big Boom Games LLC is now officially a legitimate entity in the state of California. And now that that's done, I've actually started, really working on and really thinking a lot about my business plan. I'm actually getting into the weeds and the nitty-gritty details of formulating a complete plan, not just kind of summarizing over the basic points. I'm not much of a planner. I've never been much of a planner, but I've been really encouraged a lot recently, especially by my wife, to really sit down and do it right. And if you're wondering, okay, well, why didn't you make the business plan before you filed to organize the company? That's a great question, and that's probably a story for another time, as I'm stuck here in traffic. But no, that's not the way I did things. And so now, yes, we're working on the actual business plan, and it got me thinking as I've been doing this, how much sitting down and really writing out the plan, really focusing on the individual aspects of this plan, how much it's shaping the things that I want to do with the company and how I want to proceed. And I thought a lot about, kind of an analogy, because I think, going into business is kind of like bowling, right? I think there are some people that walk up and they've got all the confidence in the world. They're like, yeah, baby, I'm gonna throw nothing but strikes. I'm gonna get that perfect curve, that perfect trajectory. I'm gonna hit the sweet spot every time, and I'm gonna knock them all flat, right? And in reality is most of us, we're really ecstatic if we can get in there and we can pick up a couple of spares. Us average golfers, or not golfers, bowlers, who we just want to see some kind of success, some kind of progress. And then, the harsh reality is that sometimes things are going to go really wrong, and maybe it's just, your hand slips as you're getting ready to make the throw, or, maybe it's that, I don't know, you approach wrong, like you slip on the way up, or maybe you're just not very good at bowling. And then that ball, it heads, skids across the lane, slaps straight into the gutter, and then you get to watch that really sad, just super disappointing kind of slow roll that ball does down the gutter towards the back before it plops out of sight, and you get to, hang your head and kind of walk your way back to the benches while you wait for the ball to come back up, and you can give it another chance. And, that's kind of the analogy of going at things without having a really defined plan. And for me, what I'm thinking of it is that the plan is like the bumpers that they put on the bowling alley. And if you ever go bowling, and especially bowling with young children, I'm sure you guys have seen that there's these certain lanes that they have set up with these bumper rails that just run the entire length of the lanes, so that if the ball goes wild, it just hits the bumper and then bounces back, and maybe bounces a few more times all the way through until it gets to the end. And I feel like the plan is the bumpers. The plan kind of accounts for things and keeps things moving in the right direction, even when stuff goes sideways. And it might bounce back and forth and and go slowly and kind of trudge its way down the lane until it gets down there and maybe even knocks over a couple of pins. But ultimately, it took things to the end state, right? To the destination it was trying to get to. And in the military, another thing I was thinking about, we've got a saying that says, no plan survives first contact with the enemy, right? And yeah, that might be true, But in the military, we make plans anyway, right? Every leader learns at some point how to actually plan a mission, plan an objective, so that you know where you're going, you know how you're going to communicate, you analyze the situation, the mission, the enemy, the terrain, you go through all of these details so that, and you train, and you train, and you train, and you train, so that eventually when something does go wrong, well, you still have those guidelines. You know where you're going. You know, you still know what you're trying to do, and you train to be able to respond to those eventualities. You establish those processes ahead of time, because I guarantee any company or unit or squad that goes out without any kind of plan and just says, hey man, we're gonna wing it, and they get, you know, they come into contact with the enemy, they're not making it. They're not coming home, not a single one of those people, if their leader didn't come up with some kind of plan. And so I would say maybe, you know, instead of no plan survives first contact, I would say, you know, no one survives first contact without a plan. I think we need to adjust that phrasing a little bit, that saying. So planning, yeah, I've been thinking about it. I've been working on it, you know, kind of going through that process, and I'll keep y'all updated as things move along. But again, you know, celebration time, it's official. Big Boom Games LLC is an actual company in the state of California now, and I couldn't be more stoked. So, you know, keep tuned, because of course, as always, there's more goodness yet to come.